What's up, YouTube? Zero here, and welcome to the place where gamers, witches, wizards, and superheroes unite. Today, I'm going to be going over a level 13, 19 Street 7. If y'all saw the title, y'all know. This is mostly a blade build. I am going balls to the wall, bringing a knife to a gunfight. So let's talk about what I have invested. So first, I have 12 in reflexes. What this is going to do for me is going to increase my passive evasion, increase my critical chance, increase damage from mantis blades. And then cool, which works really nice with reflexes, it's going to increase my crit damage. Remember, reflexes increases my crit chance, so those two work nicely with each other. I have level 11 cool. Increases all resistances, increases stealth damage, reduces the speed at which enemies detect you, and then increases monowire damage. And then I have a few into body. I'm up to 5 body points. Technical ability and intelligence, I just left it the bare minimum. So 12 in reflexes, 11 in cool, 5 in body. And what I'm mainly doing for this is getting those health points and getting those stamina points. Those are nice to have, especially on a blade build. Let's go into reflexes and talk about what I have invested in. So of course, we're on a blade build. Let's talk about the blades. So I have 1 point in sting like a bee, which increases my attack speed. I want to kill enemies as quickly as possible, so this is nice, increasing my attack speed. I have blessed blade, which increases my crit chance. We already have an increased crit chance by going into reflexes, but I'm doing it even more because I want to kill enemies as quickly as possible. Then we have Flight of Sparrow. Full 2 points into it, reduces the stamina. This is pretty important. You don't want to run out of stamina when you're right in front of an enemy trying to kill them and allowing them to get those shotgun shots off on you. It definitely hurts. Then we go into Slow and Steady, where armor is increased by 30% while moving. This is important. You're running around with a blade, you're trying to kill enemies, but they're going to be shooting at you, so you want your armor as high as possible. Now I actually put a few points into handguns. Now let's talk about the points and then I'll talk about why. So I have High Noon, which increases crit chance. I have Desperado, which increases damage with pistols and revolvers. And then I have Rio Bravo, increases headshot damage multiplier. So the reason why I go into handguns is kind of a failsafe. I love running around with a blade, but there are moments, especially early in the game, level 13 is early in the game, where using a blade may not be plausible. So I use a pistol in those scenarios. I use a handgun in those scenarios just because there are some times where there are a lot of enemies and you can't run around with a blade. Then I go into cool. Nothing in stealth, but in cold blood I have a lot. So let's talk about cold blood. After defeating an enemy, gain cold blood for 10 seconds and increase movement speed by 2%, stacks up to 1 time. This is going to be really important because everything else in this category plays off of it. We reduce weapon recoil by 5% per stack of cold blood. Again, that's going back to our handguns as my fail-safe if I need to use a handgun instead of a blade. Most of the time I can use a blade. Sometimes I'm going to have to use a handgun. Then I have Defensive Clotting, increases armor by 20%. Again, we saw the armor, the added armor in the blade category. We're doing it again. We want that resistance up when enemies are shooting at us. And then I have Frozen Precision, headshot damage by 50%, so that's helping out my handguns. And then Rapid Blood Flow, increases health regen inside and outside of combat by 100% per stack of cold blood. So I kill an enemy and my health is regenning quicker, so that's extremely important when I'm running at enemies with a blade. Then let's talk about body. I don't have a lot in here, but I do have a few. Health slowly regens under regeneration. I have that again during combat. I want to be defensive a little bit. I'm running around with a blade. Then I have Invincible, increases my max health. So that is where I'm at with my points inside of this character section. Let's talk about what I am using when it comes to weapons. So I'm using a katana, and you can see 439 damage per second. I've really only upgraded this katana, trying to make it as powerful as possible. I love using a katana. I recommend using a katana if you are doing a blade build. It is insanely good. Then the other guns really don't matter. I have a precision rifle just in case I need it if I run out of ammo in my handgun for whatever reason. I have a rifle, although I don't use it, and you're not going to see any gameplay from it. I have a little bit of gameplay from my handgun. You're going to see that in a second. Again, this is really just a fail-safe. If there's a scenario where I'm running out of health, I can't run up to enemies, there are just too many enemies, then I'll use my handgun as kind of a fail-safe. And then just try to get your armor up as much as possible. You can see in the stats I have 197 armor, 187 health, and 106 stamina. So let's get into some gameplay and talk more about this build.
So we talked about the skills and why some of those really go well with each other. And some of the skills are really self-explanatory. Let's talk more about the play style and kind of the strategy when utilizing this blade build. So first things first, this is really more of a glass cannon build. Yes, we have a couple of perks and skills that help us more defensively, but this is really more of a glass cannon. If we're on the glass cannon scale where 1 is not a glass cannon at all and 10 is full glass cannon, we're probably more in the 7 or 8 range. So what you want to do is really you want to utilize the playing field to your advantage. If you can get an enemy around a corner, kind of like I did there, it's great because you can easily kill the enemy with a couple of slashes and you don't have to worry about taking gunfire. Another strategy that I like to use is I want to make sure all of the enemies are in front of me so I know where I'm going next. I kill one enemy and then I beeline for the next enemy. If there are enemies behind me, it's going to be a lot harder for me, 1, to take them out, and 2, to kind of heal myself or find cover. I also want to know where cover is on the battlefield because, again, we can see right here I'm taking a lot of damage. There's a lot of gunfire raining down on me. So I want to make sure that I am using my inhaler. And another thing, use the inhaler before you enter battle. That's important so you can get your healing up before battle. Use the inhaler that allows you to gain health regen over 30 seconds because you're going to get that health regen as you go into battle. You can see there again, just a line from one enemy to the next, taking them out fairly easily. Another thing you may want to do, another strategy that you may want to do, and we're going to see it here, before I go into battle, I'm actually going to sneak up on an enemy. I'm going to kill him, and what that's going to do is going to activate Cold-Blooded because Cold-Blooded activates on a kill, and then I have my Cold-Blooded perks ready for when I go into battle and take out that next enemy, which is pretty important. We're gaining some of that armor. Remember, we are bringing a knife to a gunfight, so gaining that armor and some of the other cold-blooded perks that work really well with the katana, such as the health regen and the armor, that's really going to work out nicely for us. So try and sneak up on one enemy, take them out if you can, so you can start that cold-blooded streak, and we can then go to town with our katana. We have a lot of cool tricks with our katana, and remember, really, that stamina perk actually really works out well. When I first used the katana, it was like 4 slashes and my stamina was drained. So make sure you do utilize that stamina. Also, when you're crafting, just upgrade your katana. My katana is dealing over 400 damage per second, and we saw my handgun and my rifle, they were dealing around 150 to 170 damage per second, and there's a reason for that. I've only upgraded my katana because I'm a glass cannon. I want to go in quick, slice my enemies up, and then go to the next enemy or find cover. Because remember, we're taking a lot of shots. Utilize grenades when you can for huge groups of enemies if you can't run up on them with a katana, but 2 enemies you can really take out pretty easily with your katana. Now, one of the last things I want to talk about is utilizing a handgun. There are going to be some times where you just need to use a gun, whether it's too big of a group, or sometimes a turret that you'll need to take out with a handgun. And you'll actually see that at the end of this video, where I need to take out a turret right here with my handgun because I can't take it out with my katana. So it looks like we're coming down to the end of this video. I hope it helped y'all out. I hope y'all utilize this katana to perfection. If y'all enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more Cyberpunk content. Until next time, peace.